Just close your eyes. Know the peace within.
Your true nature is to be non-serious. Your true nature is to be joyful. Your true nature is peacefulness. Though you are non-serious, though you are joyful, though you are peaceful by nature, you never remain non-serious. You never know the joyfulness. You never know the peacefulness in you constantly. You never know that you are prior to the perceived show. You never know that you are prior to all identifications. You never know that you are prior to all matter that appear in space. By not knowing your true nature, by not knowing what is happening within dualities, not real, you are always serious. You always remain struggling. You always remain worried about whatever that is happening, whatever that is perceived. Because you are giving reality to a movie which appears in the screen of space, as you are yet to know what your I amness consciousness is. By accepting every frame of the movie to be real, you remain tensed constantly throughout waking state. See, your nature is non-serious, but you remain always serious. Why? Because you are yet to know what this consciousness is, what your I amness is. Once you know that everything is happening and reflecting out of your I amness consciousness, but for you there is neither the world nor any show here to be perceived in space. By knowing this secret, you remain free from the entire show. By not knowing, you remain very serious. Your seriousness indicates your strong identifications towards the perceived movie. Identification is due to ignorance of yourself. You are yet to know that you are only consciousness. By not knowing that you are only consciousness, and only in your consciousness everything is appearing, moving, happening, disappearing just now. And by not knowing that whatever that appears, moves and disappears is not you, is never you. So you remain continuously ignorant throughout the waking state by not knowing what this consciousness, I amness is. Then how can you remain peaceful? How can you remain joyful? How can you remain non-serious when you are going on giving reality to that which appears and disappears? I tell you, till you go inward and find out what your I amness consciousness is and how the entire manifestation is happening, not somewhere but from your consciousness, you remain tensed only. Once you know that there's nothing to be serious about any movie that is perceived within space, there's no reality in whatever that is happening, then you remain cool, undisturbed, relaxed. I tell you to be non-serious about the perceived show, but you will not accept it because you are yet to know what this consciousness is. You are still trapped at the personality level. You give value to seriousness. You never value the non-seriousness. Non-seriousness means remaining conscious of yourself and perceiving the show as such without interpretation, without involvement. The movie goes on not by you, but by the play of the elements. Out of the sheer play of the elements and their interactions, world is happening just now in your consciousness. Cosmos are happening just now in your consciousness. Whatever perceived as the varieties of appearances, whether it is living or non-living, is by your consciousness. And there is nothing apart from your consciousness. Till you know this, you give reality as if everything is real and whatever that happened is also real. Whatever that is about to happen is also real. It is exactly like perceiving a dream and accepting every part of the dream to be real. At the time of perception, it appears to be real. Why? Because you are yet to wake up to know that you are the observer prior to the dream. Exactly here. Your consciousness is yet to wake up. First, you should accept that you are only consciousness. Then it is very, very easier for you to remain non-serious, to remain peaceful, to remain joyful, and to remain free from all identifications imposed on you unknowingly. Here the play is going unknowingly. There is no person to start the play, to run the play, and to end the play. Entire play is going on spontaneously. Why not you observe silently? Why you become so serious about it? The moment you are serious about it, you are giving reality, exactly like a movie. You don't observe the movie as the movie. You give reality to the movie and you enter into the screen itself and you are unwilling to come out of the screen. Exactly here. You never know how to observe silently. By not knowing to observe silently, you are continuously trapped by each and every frame of the movie to be real, to be real, to be real. Why I am expounding this knowledge to you? Why should I expound this knowledge to you? Because I know what you are. I know your original state, beyond duality, beyond divisions, beyond birth and death. Only I can help you and guide you to wake up consciously from the perceived show. All that you need is to wake up only to be conscious of yourself. And you are already conscious. Why not you remain conscious of yourself? To be conscious of yourself, you need not go anywhere. Because your form itself is appearing only out of your consciousness. Wherever you are, you can just close your eyes and know the peace within. What more you want? As you are yet to know the peace within, you are in search of it outside, going here and there, accumulating so many things unnecessarily, thinking all will give peace to you. Peace is beyond matter. How can any matter make you peaceful? Every matter arises out of it. You are the source of entire matter within space. You don't know your immense value. I have to go on remind what you are, what you are, what you are. And you go on forget also what you are, what you are. Once you are conscious and if your listening is total, at any moment your consciousness can wake up. It is the most easiest thing. How it has become so tough for you? You contain it already. The treasure is within you. Why not you explore it? It is ever present. Why don't you explore it? You need not make any effort. Neither you can go move here and there to explore it. You need not spend time to explore it. You need not spend time, money to explore it. Because it is beyond time, beyond matter, and it is ever present. My question is, you contain the treasure already within you, ever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever. Why not you explore it? It is so simple. Such a simple thing becomes toughest task to you. Just closing eyes is enough to explore your inner treasure, which is ever here. No effort is needed. No time is needed. It is in timelessness. Once you enter inwardly, all these terms called time, matter, movement, everything has got no value. Inwardly, you are beyond time, beyond matter, beyond movement, and beyond divisions. You come to know that you contain everything only by going inwardly, but you are searching it outside. Your treasure is inside and you are searching it outside. Even if after listening to this also, you will start searching outside only because you do not know how to go inwardly. To that extent, you remain identified with the objects around you. You find so difficult to remain free from identifications and observe silently. Because you were never told to observe. You were never told that you are beyond matter. You were never told that you are the supreme being. At least after listening to this, know that you contain everything within. The entire treasure of the whole manifestation is within. The source of all matters within space is within you just now. You are enough unto yourself. Your presence is more than enough because it contains the seed of entire manifestation within. When everything is within and you contain it already, what are you doing here outside? Searching what? You assume that by accumulating materials you can remain peaceful. It is not so. Peace is beyond matter. Matter cannot make you peaceful. Matter helps you to live a comfortable living. You are beyond matter. Matter is only for utility. It is not you. Right from the waking state till sleep happens, you take everything which is not yourself to be yourself. That's a drawback. Knowledge is not you, but you take the knowledge to be yourself. Matter is not you, but you take the matter to be yourself. Whatever perceived is not you, but you take whatever perceived to be the truth. You remain ignorant throughout the waking state, and you assume by possessing knowledge you know everything. Maybe you may be aware of all things within world, but you are yet to know yourself. Yourself is the most important factor out of which everything appears, moves, and happens. But for yourself, but for your consciousness, what is here? Everything begins from you. You don't know your immense value. Here you means your consciousness. I go on tell the same thing. Your consciousness only contains everything. You take it as a knowledge. It should become your knowing. That's why I make your eyes closed and listen to this teaching, because once your eyes are closed, you are shutting off the movie. Now you know that you are without words. This knowing your presence directly as I amness is your self-knowledge. The knowledge about yourself that you are. You have to settle here. Your self-knowledge is beyond words. It begins here in this stillness where there is no word, but knowing is there. The self-knowledge means knowing your presence without words, knowing your conscious presence without words. You have to settle here. Truth is very simple. Just you need to settle here and observe silently without identification. In this stillness, all knowledge dissolves. Knowledge is a movement. This all dissolves. But your knowing is not a movement. It is there. Through this stillness, your knowing begins. Knowing about yourself begins, and your consciousness completes its journey by stabilizing in the stillness and settling in this stillness itself constantly and consistently. Spontaneously, your consciousness wakes up and feels relieved from the entire show perceived throughout. It is free from all these states which you term as a waking state, dream state, or sleep state, which are all happening within duality. Our consciousness knows it's non-dual and remains relaxed forever and ever and ever, and knows that whatever perceived at the form level within duality is not yourself. It is only a reflection of the light, exactly like a dream. Such a simple knowing, such a simple understanding, very simple practice remains the toughest to you. To that extent, you are identifying yourself. You are identifying something as yourself which is not yourself. When are you going to wake up? How will you wake up? As long as you give reality to all that perceive. The only way is to remain conscious of yourself. Yes, I am conscious. You must be very thorough about it. Yes, I am very much conscious of myself. Just now. Being conscious of yourself means knowing the stillness within. It's not a word, it is beyond words. Truth begins here, in your stillness. This stillness is the door to the Supreme. In stillness, you remain fearless. Only through fearlessness, which is not a movement, which is unmoving, your consciousness starts waking up. Let your consciousness remain conscious of itself, and let your consciousness abide in stillness, and let your consciousness starts waking up. Do not block the flow. Observe the flow non-seriously. Observation is non-serious. When you do not identify and simply observe, you are free from the show. You are not serious about the show. I tell this as non-serious. You are non-serious about that is perceived in the screen of space. By not giving reality to that perceived, you start knowing the reality about yourself within. Once you start giving reality to outside, you fail to go inward. Once you observe non-seriously, you are not giving any reality and you are free from the show. It is not only you are freeing yourself from the perceived show through constant observation, you are also waking up from the dream constantly. You do not know. It is a transformation happening within you. Unknowingly, spontaneously, suddenly, you will come to your consciousness wakes up. It's not a pre-planned action. It is beyond action, beyond movement. Your consciousness starts waking up once it is conscious of itself. Once it is conscious of itself, it remains non-serious because it knows it is only consciousness. So it will not unnecessarily identify itself as something else. Earlier, your consciousness was in utter ignorance, so it starts identifying everything to be itself. Now, your consciousness is conscious of itself, so it remains non-serious about anything that is perceived. It is not accepting everything as a real. It simply perceives like perceiving a show. The moment it perceives without identification, free from identification, it is already free from the show. Non-serious means no movement. Seriousness means movements. Only through movements and movements and movements, your consciousness is trapped by the perceived show. Through this unmoving, observation, it remains free from the show. Already, you are already the observer, free from the show. Nothing has never happened to you. This you will know by being non-serious about everything that is happening around you. You are conscious but not serious. You are conscious about yourself but not serious about any happening around you. You become serious through identifications and you are non-serious once you are free from identifications. You may find difficult to accept this teaching because this is something new to you. But once you understand the teachings deeply, inwardly, it helps you, it guides you to be free, to remain free from all that pursuit, so that very easily your consciousness can wake up. You are made serious. Why? Because you are yet to be conscious of yourself. Stillness is not seriousness. Seriousness is identification, and stillness is beyond identifications. Here in stillness, there's neither matter nor any object, sir. So there's nothing to be serious about. All your seriousness is only because of the identification with the object perceived. In stillness, there's no object. So no seriousness. In stillness, you are non-serious totally. Because there's no object to compare with or to discuss about. You are free from the object and all stories related to it. So your non-seriousness begins through stillness. You are receiving all knowledge, but you fail to abide in stillness. You want only knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. You want so many books to read and to gather knowledge. But you refuse to abide in stillness and settle in stillness and stabilize in stillness. Because you never value yourself. Had you valued yourself, had you respected yourself, your first preference will be to the stillness within you. I go on emphasize this point, but you go on miss this point. Why not you know the stillness within you, which is the very base for knowing your self as well as to know the Supreme Self. Right now, you are that. If you are determined to know your Supreme Truth, you will stabilize here because it is already there. Through identification, you are missing it. When you are free from identifications, you are in stillness only. Stillness is there. So you contain the treasure within and everything necessary to know the treasure also, to explore the treasure also. Everything is available to you right now. To explore yourself, to discover yourself, not only yourself but also the source of the consciousness. But still, why you find so difficult to put it into practical? Theoretically, you may know, but practically, when are you going to know? It should become your direct knowing. I am for practical. You must know, and it is your only treasure, which is ever present and remains unexplored. Why not you value yourself and start knowing the stillness in you? It is the first step towards yourself, towards knowing the ultimate source of the self. See, you contain the truth already, and you are already the truth, and always the truth. But still, how you are missing it? That's my question. So you want to remain ignorant, or you want to wake up consciously? Either you can wake up consciously, or you can remain ignorant by being not conscious of yourself. The fact is only one thing, that you are here only because of consciousness. You can't deny it. You can't deny your presence. You are very much here, but you do not know what you are. You know what you are, but you do not know what you are. You know that you are, but you do not know what you are. First, you must know that you are. How? By closing eyes and knowing the peace within. Yes, I know I am. Beyond words, I know the stillness within me. Now you know that you are. Still, you do not know what you are. To know what your I amness is, you have to abide in that I amness itself. How? Only by staying beyond words. Once you stay prior to words and observe silently, spontaneously your consciousness wakes up. Your consciousness knows that everything arises out of light only. Not only that, your consciousness knows by transcending the duality that whatever perceived within space, within duality is not itself. It's only an absolute dream, and nothing has never happened to it. Your consciousness knows its eternal beauty once it wakes up totally from the duality show. You wake up from the duality show, your consciousness remains non-serious about anything perceived. And it responds to the need of the moment. Rest of the time, it observes silently, non-seriously. Through non-seriousness, your consciousness starts knowing the peace and joy constantly by being with itself. It merges totally into the source of awareness and wakes up completely, fully, wholly, totally, and knows that nothing has never happened to it. When are you going to remain conscious of yourself? So that your consciousness can wake up totally and knows its absolute wholeness, the non-dual reality beyond duality. I am addressing this only to your consciousness, which is trapped within duality, show to be real, and yet to explore its observing a reality beyond duality. Just close your eyes, know the stillness within, and settle here. Non seriously, your consciousness wakes up totally and declares that I alone prevail, I am that. Will you